April 30th, 1943, 4:30 in the morning, off the coast of Huelva, Spain. The black Atlantic waters churn in the pre-dawn darkness as HMS Seraph cuts its engines. Inside the submarine, 30 men crowd around a steel canister marked "Handle with Care, Optical Instruments." But there are no instruments inside. There's a corpse. Lieutenant Bill Jewell gives the order. The crew hauls the canister topside. They pry it open, releasing a cloud of dry ice vapor into the salt air. Inside lies a man in a Royal Marine uniform, a briefcase chained to his wrist. His name is Major William Martin. Except William Martin never existed. The odds were impossible. 2 British intelligence officers had to convince Adolf Hitler himself that 160,000 Allied troops would invade Greece, not Sicily, using nothing but a dead homeless man, forged documents, and manufactured love letters. Against the entire German intelligence network, they had 1 corpse, 6 weeks, and a plan so audacious that even Churchill called it madness. This is how 2 men and a dead body changed the course of World War II. London, October 1942. Room 13 of the Admiralty Building in Whitehall doesn't appear on any official map. Inside, 41-year-old Naval Intelligence Officer Ewan Montague studies a problem that's killing him slowly: Sicily. The Allies need to invade Sicily to open the Mediterranean. But German High Command knows this. Intelligence estimates predict 10,000 casualties on the first day alone, maybe more. Across the desk sits 32-year-old RAF Flight Lieutenant Charles Cholmondeley on loan from MI5. Cholmondeley is theatrical, where Montague is methodical. He's been thinking about corpses. What if, Cholmondeley says, we make them think we're going somewhere else? The idea isn't new. In 1917, British forces used a corpse with fake battle plans to deceive the Turks in Palestine. It worked then. But this is 1943. The Germans are sophisticated, paranoid. They have forensic pathologists, document experts, and spy networks across Europe. They've been waiting for exactly this kind of trick. Montague looks at Cholmondeley. We'd need a body, a fresh one. We'd need documents so perfect that Hitler himself would believe them. And we'd need the Germans to find it without suspecting we wanted them to find it. The odds were impossible. They tried anyway. In October 1942, the 20 Committee, Britain's counterintelligence brain trust, gives approval. The operation receives a code name: Mincemeat. Now they need a corpse. The mission is surgical in its precision. Create a fictitious British courier, kill him in a plane crash off the coast of Spain, and ensure German agents discover invasion plans on his body, plans pointing to Greece instead of Sicily. The impossible odds stack up like sandbags. Numbers. Against approximately 2,000 German Abwehr intelligence officers, cryptographers, and forensic experts across Europe, Montague and Cholmondeley command a team of roughly 20 people. That's a ratio of 100 to 1. Equipment. The Germans have state-of-the-art document analysis laboratories, chemical testing facilities, and captured examples of every British military form and stamp. Montague has typewriters, a camera, and access to a morgue. Time. They have until late May 1943 for the documents to reach Hitler. The Sicily invasion is scheduled for July 10th. Miss that window, and 160,000 men sail into a fortified death trap. Medical detection. Spanish pathologists will examine the body. If they determine death wasn't from drowning, if they detect poison, disease, or the wrong decomposition timeline, the operation dies with the corpse. Strategic credibility. The documents must be important enough to matter, but not so perfect they scream deception. One forged signature, one wrong date stamp, one inconsistent detail, and the entire German intelligence apparatus will know it's a plant. Any rational analysis said this was suicide. Meanwhile, Hitler is fortifying Sicily. The 15th Panzer Grenadier Division arrives. Coastal guns multiply. Minefields spread across invasion beaches like steel confetti. Every day of delay means more German soldiers, more fortifications, more Allied casualties. Montagu and Cholmondeley have a corpse to find. January 28, 1943. A homeless man named Glyndor Michael eats rat poison in an abandoned London warehouse. He's 34 years old, unemployed, forgotten. The phosphorus burns through his system, filling his lungs with fluid. He dies alone. St. Pancras Coroner's Court records the death as suicide, but the body doesn't go to a pauper's grave. Through channels that remain classified even today, it arrives at a mortuary in Hackney. Montagu examines the corpse. Michael died from phosphorus poisoning, not drowning. But the fluid in his lungs, could it pass for seawater? Maybe. If the Spanish pathologist doesn't look too close, if the body stays cold enough, if they're lucky. This is the one, Montagu says. They pack the body in dry ice and start building a man who never existed. Major William Martin of the Royal Marines needs to be real. Not just real, lived in real. A person with habits, loves, debts, and dreams. They craft an identity from whole cloth. Bill stubs from a London club. Ticket stubs from a West End theater showing "strike a new note." A stern letter from Lloyd's Bank about an overdraft of £79. An old ID card, cigarettes, matches. He needs a fiancé. Jean Leslie works as a secretary at MI5. She's 23, dark-haired, engaged to another man. When Montagu asks for her photograph and intimate love letters to place on a corpse, she doesn't hesitate. She writes, "I do hope I haven't been too foolish getting engaged to you so quickly. The idea of being Mrs. William Martin still makes me nervous and excited all at once." She signs them Pam. Her photograph, smiling, hopeful, goes into Major Martin's wallet. German intelligence officers will see this photo. They'll read these letters. Jean Leslie knows this. She does it anyway. The documents require surgical precision. Montagu forges a personal letter from Vice Admiral Lord Louis Mountbatten to Admiral Sir Andrew Cunningham in North Africa. The letter mentions Operation Husky, code name for the Sicily invasion, but treats it as a feint. The real target, according to the fake letter, Greece and Sardinia. They type it on Mountbatten's personal stationery, stolen from his office. They forge his signature. They add casual details, gossip about appointments, jokes about sardines, a subtle hint toward Sardinia. It isn't the man who exists, Montagu later writes. It's the man who might have existed. April 17, 1943. The body is decomposing faster than anticipated. Even packed in dry ice, Glyndor Michael's corpse won't look recently drowned for much longer. They have 48 hours, maybe less. Montagu orders emergency submarine deployment. They dress the body in full Royal Marine uniform, trench coat, life jacket. The briefcase, containing the forged letters and invasion plans, is chained to his wrist. They slide him into the cylindrical canister, pack it with more dry ice, and mark it, "Handle with care, optical instruments." HMS Seraph receives the canister at Holy Loch, Scotland. Lieutenant Bill Jewell, 29 years old, reads his orders and blanks. He's transporting a corpse to Spain. His crew cannot know. Optical instruments, he tells them. The submarine departs at dawn. They didn't know that Spanish fishing boats regularly patrol the Huelva coast. They didn't know the currents would be stronger than charts indicated. They didn't know if the body would drift to shore or out to the open Atlantic. April 19, 1943, 4:15 a.m. HMS Seraph surfaces off Huelva. Fog hangs thick over black water. The Spanish coast is invisible somewhere in the darkness. Jewell checks his position, roughly 1 mile offshore, where currents should carry the body to land. should. They haul the canister topside. The crew sees the body for the first time. Good God, someone whispers. They inflate the Mae West life jacket. The briefcase hangs from Major Martin's wrist, heavy with secrets. Jules says a prayer, unusual for a military operation, but this seems to require it. For what we are about to do, he says, may the Lord make us truly thankful. They slide the body into the Atlantic. For a moment, Major William Martin floats face down in the darkness, arms spread, the briefcase pulling at his wrist. Then the current catches him. Slowly, inevitably, he begins drifting towards Spain. HMS Seraph crash dives and disappears. Meanwhile, Adolf Klaus waits. Klaus runs Abwehr operations in Huelva, German military intelligence. He's 50-something, ambitious, hungry for a major intelligence coup. He has sources in the Spanish military, the police, the harbor masters. He's been waiting for something exactly like this. April 30th, 1943, 9:30 a.m. José Antonio Rey Maria, a sardine fisherman, spots something in the surf near Punta del Ceibo. He wades in. It's a body, British uniform, a briefcase chained to the wrist. Rey Maria alerts the Spanish Navy. Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Pascual del Pobel examines the body at Huelva Naval Station. He finds identification. Major William Martin, Royal Marines. He finds the briefcase, locked. He finds personal effects, letters, photographs, theater stubs. He sends the briefcase to Madrid unopened. Meanwhile, Adolf Klaus receives a phone call. The Spanish pathologist, Dr. Eduardo del Torno, conducts the autopsy. This is the moment everything could collapse. If del Torno determines the death wasn't from drowning, if he detects the rot poison, the wrong timeline, anything suspicious, Operation Mincemeat dies here. Dr. del Torno opens the lungs. Fluid, consistent with drowning. The body shows decomposition consistent with several days in the water. He writes his report, asphyxiation through immersion in the sea. In London, Montague doesn't know any of this yet. He's pacing room 13, smoking, waiting. The body washed ashore, but did they buy it? Meanwhile, in Madrid, Spanish intelligence photographs every document in Major Martin's briefcase before handing it to the British naval attaché. The photographs go to Adolf Klaus. Klaus sees letters from Mountbatten. He sees references to Operation Husky as a diversion. He sees detailed plans for invading Greece, troop numbers, landing sites, the works. His hands shake as he transmits the photographs to Berlin. This could be his masterpiece. May 9, 1943. German High Command, Berlin. Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, head of the Abwehr, spreads the documents across his desk. His analysts crowd around. For 3 days, they examine every detail. The paper, correct British military stock. The typewriter, consistent with Admiralty machines. The signatures, they match examples from intercepted correspondence. The personal effects, too detailed to fake. One analyst raises concerns. It's too convenient. A courier crashes precisely where we have agents? But Canaris sees something else. The letters are too personal to be fabricated. The overdraft notice, the theater stubs, the love letters, who would forge those? And the military plans themselves aren't perfect. They're vague in places, overly specific in others. They read like actual staff work, not propaganda. It's genuine, Canaris concludes. The report goes to Hitler. May 12, 1943, Wolf's Lair, East Prussia. Adolf Hitler receives the intelligence briefing at his field headquarters. He's been obsessing about the Mediterranean for months. He's always suspected Greece. It makes strategic sense. It protects the Balkans. It threatens the Romanian oil fields. Now he has proof. I never really believed they would attack Sicily, Hitler tells his staff. It's too obvious. He issues immediate orders. May 14, 1943. The ultra-decryption team at Bletchley Park intercepts a German Enigma transmission. They decode it and send it to the Admiralty. Montagu reads the message at his desk in room 13. Measures for the defense of Sardinia and the Peloponnesus, Greece, must be completed with the most urgent speed. His hands tremble. The message is signed with Hitler's authority. They'd done it. They'd fooled the Führer himself. Across Europe, German troops begin moving. The 1st Panzer Division, 90,000 tons of armor and artillery, entrains for Greece instead of Sicily. Coastal defenses in the Peloponnesus multiply. Mine-laying vessels deploy. Fighter squadrons redeploy to Greek airfields. Sicily's defenses thin. Montagu writes a single message to Allied command. Mincemeat swallowed rod, line, and sinker. Churchill receives the news and permits himself a rare smile. They didn't know if it would work until this moment. They'd sent a homeless man's corpse with fake documents into the Atlantic, gambling 160,000 lives on whether Hitler would believe a lie. He believed. July 10, 1943, 2:45 a.m. Operation Husky begins. 160,000 Allied troops storm the beaches of Sicily under cover of darkness. They brace for devastating fire from entrenched panzer divisions. The fire doesn't come. The beaches are defended by skeleton crews. The feared panzer divisions are in Greece, waiting for an invasion that will never arrive. By dawn, Allied forces secure 7 beachheads. Casualties on the first day, 160 British troops killed. Not 10,000, not even 1,000, 160. Operation Mincemeat saved thousands of lives in a single day. Sicily falls in 38 days. On July 25th, Mussolini is overthrown. Italy collapses. The Mediterranean opens to Allied shipping. Airfields in Sicily provide bases to bomb Germany itself. The strategic impact cascades like dominoes. In Huelva, Spain, Major William Martin lies in a cemetery, buried with full military honors. The gravestone reads, William Martin, born 29 March 1907, died 24 April 1943, beloved son of John Glyndwr Martin and the late Antonia Martin of Cardiff, Wales. Every word is a lie, except the death. Operation Mincemeat became the gold standard for strategic deception. Military academies study it today. Intelligence services worldwide analyze its psychology, its attention to detail, its understanding of what makes information believable. The operation proved something profound. With enough detail and psychological insight, anyone can be deceived, even Hitler. Modern historians estimate Operation Mincemeat saved 20,000 Allied lives, possibly more when counting the shortened Italian campaign. It opened the soft underbelly of Europe that Churchill had envisioned. It cost one life, Glyndwr Michaels. A man who had nothing in life gave everything in death, though the world wouldn't know his name for 50 more years. Ewen Montagu returned to civilian life after the war. In 1953, he published The Man Who Never Was, finally revealing the operation. He became a judge. He died in 1985, age 84, never losing his meticulous nature. Charles Cholmondeley faded into quieter intelligence work. He rarely spoke of Operation Mincemeat, even to family. He died in 1982, keeping most secrets to the grave. Jean Leslie married her real fiancé. She never sought recognition for her role. Her photograph, smiling as Pam, remained in German intelligence files for decades. And Glyndwr Michael? He rests in Huelva under a false name. For years, tourists visited the grave of Major William Martin, never knowing they were honoring a homeless Welsh laborer who died eating rat poison. In the 1990s, researchers finally identified him, but the gravestone remains unchanged. William Martin's name stays carved in stone, a lie that saved thousands of lives. The odds were impossible. 2 men, 1 corpse, and 6 weeks to fool Hitler. Against the entire German war machine, they had nothing but creativity, precision, and the understanding that people believe what they want to believe. Hitler wanted to believe Greece was the target, so they gave him Major William Martin. And Major Martin gave him the lie that changed the war.